Hey there, guys. Managing Editor, Surfcaster's Journal, Jerry Audet here. I was going to do this as a gear up sort of short article, but I figured a video would be just as easy. I'm going to take some still shots as I talk. This is definitely something you're going to want to watch. This will be short, but you're definitely going to want to watch it. So, fishing teasers is sort of a dying art. Not a lot of people are still fishing teasers. Sand beach, estuaries, rocks, etc. Definitely seems to be a bit of a dying thing on the Cape. Rhode Island, it used to be big time. Long Island, South Shore used to be big time. Doesn't seem like as many people are doing it, but I've sort of started fishing teasers more simply because we recently talked to Frank Dano on the podcast that's not affiliated with SJ, but I also run Surfcast podcast, and him talking about how effective and how important teasers were and how many fish they catch kind of made me rethink about, reassess what it was that I was looking for on the beaches and what I could be missing. So that's the short of it. That's me trying to keep things short. So fishing more teasers this season, specifically the red gill, and then I got these knockoffs from Goose Hummock Shop in Orleans, Massachusetts on the Cape. They're basically the same thing, but they're knockoffs of the red gill. They're a little bit bigger. But what I have been finding is that in my, renaissance of using these, I have found that they've been sliding off the hooks a lot. Now, I've used a variety of different hooks for these. This is an Eagle Claw 254 inside this red gill here. And I've just been finding that they slide off the hook a lot, and I don't know if I forgot that. I don't know if it's a new thing. I don't know what's changed, because I don't really remember it being a problem in the past. But one of the tips I just wanted to give you really quickly is just adding a zip tie, which I hope you can see here, and that should focus here. A zip tie to the front nose of the teaser of the hook. I've never really seen anyone do it before. I'm sure it's not something I'm coming up with, but I haven't seen it even on a forum or an article or something like that. So I'm sure it's been out there, but maybe not for a long time. Maybe because these are a dying art, I don't know. So adding a zip tie, it makes absolutely no difference to my catch rate. It helps these things hold up because they don't get ripped on the hook shaft, and they just seem to hold up a lot better with this zip tie. So that kind of led me to another finding, because what I found is that with these smaller hooks, with these smaller eyes on them, the zip tie doesn't really get as much purchase as I thought it would. It definitely makes a difference, but it could make a lot more difference, potentially if I had a different hook. Well, long story short, I was looking into other hooks for other uses, treble hooks, swim baits, etc., and I found these Mustad Alpha Points, which is their new series. They're excellent across the board. Also something we talked about on the podcast already. But these Alpha Points, one of the offerings they have, and I actually also found this Goose Hummock, but they have them everywhere, is these Alpha Grip Flip hooks, which I'll take a close-up of the package here because I'm afraid it won't come out on the video. This is actually supposed to be for freshwater. These are supposed to be for a very specific freshwater method, flipping and pitching. But these hooks are the perfect size, shape for use with a teaser. And again, I'm not really sure you're going to be able to see this in the video, so I'll also take a close-up of it. But they are the perfect size in 4.0 for the red gill or for one of these knockoffs that I got at Goose Hummock Shop. Now, they're the perfect shape, they're the perfect size, they're the perfect stickiness in terms of they're very, very sharp. They're definitely strong. Obviously in a 4.0 size like this, which is a fairly small hook, they're not, 9430 Mustad treble hook strong, or like bucktail Mustad hook strong, but they are much stronger than, what the red gills used to come with or something like that. They're much stronger than anybody who uses anything with a fly rod uses, etc. Most people. They've got an interesting shape. They kind of curve back on themselves a little bit, gives them a little more strength. But the key thing about these hooks in particular, these Alpha Grip Flips, is they have a little nub at the top here, which again, I'm sure you can't see, so I'm going to take a close-up of this in a second. And this little nub right here, when you insert it into the teaser, like so, which I will also, again, give you a close-up here in a second, it digs into the plastic of the teaser. Now, it's a little bit harder going on because it's actually designed... I wish it was pointed the other way. It's a little bit hard going on. It digs in. But what that does is it prevents the hook from turning inside the teaser, which I definitely have had happen before, and I think has led to some missed fish. And it also gives a nice place for the zip tie to grab onto. So the combination of these grip flip alpha point mustads and the zip ties has led to a teaser system, I guess as you could call it, that I have found spins, turns, gets tangled, whatever, less than any other system that I've used before. Now, in these knockoffs, these are actually a little bit small. The hook only extends to about here. And then you could see, I hope, and I'll take a photo of it, between the eye and the little bump, the little hook on the top of the hook, that's where I put the zip tie. I put it in between the two. I find that that's usually the best place to put it. Although, honestly, it works pretty well behind the hook as well, the little catch on the top of it. And that works just fine as well. Just a short video. Again, I was going to make this an article. This is just for you subscribers. The Alpha Point Alpha Grip Flip in a 4.0 size. These guys here, again, I'll take a close-up of this in a second. Works really well with these. I think they work totally fine with the Red Gill. They're a little bit big, but I actually like a little bit big on mine. I don't mind kind of cutting into the body of the teaser and sliding it up further. And then any size zip tie will work just fine. So a very simple system. And I will say, in closing, that there was a bite this year. I've had 2 bites this season where I don't think I would have caught any fish without the teaser. And that's something that I haven't really even talked about on the podcast at all. One of them, the fish were not taking the teaser at all. They were taking the plug. So I cut the teaser off, and as soon as I did that, I stopped catching. And they were biting darters. They were hitting darters. And I was like, well, forget it. I'm taking the teaser off. Took the teaser off. I stopped getting hits. 20 minutes went by. I put it back on. I had 2 fish immediately, and then that was it. I don't know if that's because the tide died and those were the only fish there, or what it was because it was around a tide switch. But it was really interesting that I had nothing for a while, and then I had those fish when I went back to having the teaser. And then the other one was a slug-o night where they were on both, and I took the teaser off, and they stopped taking either. But that night with the darter, they were only taking the darter, but when I took the teaser off, I was getting no hits at all. So something to think about. Again, Mustad, Alpha Point, Alpha Grip Flip, use a zip tie, makes the teasers work great.